City in North Carolina. Joey Tate, 17 years of age. I'm not going to say it's the biggest match of his life because he's been in finals and he's won plenty of tournaments, but certainly it's going to be the highest profile match of his life. And what an opportunity coming up against SVB.
We did see Shane struggle with the break at the European. He still got to the final, but it was a struggle. I'm excited for this one, Phil. I'll hold my hands up. I've never seen Joey Tate play. I've heard good things. I'm intrigued to see what his game is about. He's left-handed. Often means they're very good potters of the ball. And that is an open indication of... looks pretty tidy. Didn't get the cue ball where he wanted. So he's going to have to find a good safety shot now. Just trying to jack up and draw the cue ball back in behind that red ball. That's what he's trying here. It's a difficult shot. I don't know if he can get the 2 ball in a safe zone as well. Is the 2 going to go in? It is going to go in. Didn't play the bank. That's okay. That gives him another go at the table here to try and find a safety shot.
And this one could be even more troublesome than what was planned last time.
There's a healthy crowd over around that table and all. People know, they can sense that this match is a big one. Well, Phil, we're 3 shots in. And I have to say, so far I'm impressed.
Well, he comes from a pool playing family. He's one of 12 children, actually. And his sisters, Bethany and Noelle, are here. I think Bethany actually is a reserve for the SVB Junior Open. And his dad, Randy Tate, is a good player in his own right. Way back in 1994, he was runner-up in the American College National Championship to Max Eberle. Originally from the Chicago area, moved to the Tar Heel State, North Carolina, a while ago. And now Joey Tate is carrying on the family name.
And chances need to be taken, though, against Shane. You've got to stamp your authority on this match. Early on, quickly. Got to show Shane you're here to play. You're not scared. Worst thing you can do is let Shane or any of these top players relax. You've got to keep them under the cosh. They can miss balls too. Shane's playing safe, needs to miss the 8. He might leave the pot here, you know, Phil. He has done. It was a tricky safety, though. Them kind of shots go kind of under the radar. They're just the tricky shots to lay a good save. He was in a tricky spot there, Shane. Another chance for Mr. Tate. says Joseph, Phil. Is it Joseph or can we call him Joey?
Well, he is called Joey, but obviously Joseph is the name he was given, so take your pick.
Cue ball looks to be coming around okay here for the side pocket. Yeah, this is dressed up nice. And just look at the layout now. The 6 is over the pocket. The 7's there. This can't really go wrong. This should be the first wreck to Joey. That's a real feeling for this young man. He's playing SVB. And in a few days he's going to be playing in the SVB Junior Open.
Well, if he shines here and Jeremy Jones likes what he sees, what a story that would be. Moscone Cup.
Well, why not? I mean, other than Shane and Skylar Woodward, who are guaranteed on the team no matter what happens in the season, let's be honest, the other 3 spots, well, they're always up for grabs. I know we take 3 off the rankings, so I'd be better saying the 2 spots are up for grabs. But it still feels like, obviously Shane is now in, and the other spots, the other 2 places up for grabs off the rankings, well, no one's really near the top of the rankings. So if one of the Americans can go deep here, well, you would think they're going to qualify on the rankings. It's not like the Europeans, where the Europeans are stacked at the top of the rankings, Phil.
I think we must apply the verbal handbrake here. We haven't seen him win a rack yet. We're talking about him being in the Moscone Cup at the age of 17. But the early indications are that he can play this game and that Van Boening might have a handful.
Yeah, that's a fair point. He's potted 4 balls and we've put him in the team, but this is purely off speculation, what we've heard around the arena.
I like the cue action, I like the poise, and the main thing is for someone of his age, his inexperience, I suppose, on this, the biggest of stages, he seems as though he feels totally at home. And that's a big step to take. This year, he's had a wonderful time. He's won several all-age tournaments. Won an event on the Carolina Pool Tour in Winston-Salem. Won the Q-City Bar Box Championship back at the start of the year in January. And in August, Joey Tate won the California State Junior Nineball in Sacramento. He's had plenty of success, and early indications, Carl, he's not overawed.
No, I mean, he was a little bit fortunate when he missed that red 3 ball in the side. It left Shane in a tricky spot, so that's something to just take note of. But he's won the rack, he's won the opening rack, and that is always going to make you feel comfortable and relaxed out there. Let's see what his break is saying. Looks to be a good cueist there, though. You can just see, can't you? Where's the cue ball? The cue ball is scratched. That is unfortunate for the cue ball to find that bucket there. And look at the 7-9. It looks dressed up as a combo. That's why Shane has put the cue ball there. This could be a quick one.
2-7-9, and Shane Van Boening, after that initial loss, is back all square. 1-1. Well, we can't really blame Joey Tate for anything that happened in that rack. The cue ball just catching the 9 and scratching, and then leaving that 3-ball combination. So, when you were 17, Carl, were you playing on this stage?
I think I was round the back of the bike sheds, Phil. Well, I certainly wasn't playing 5-time US Open champ at the 45th US Open 9-ball championships. SVB to break. And again, I know he's made a ball, but it's not the ball he's going for. The greatest breaker in the game has turned into the worst.
You're right about Fulda. He got to the final, as you say, despite the break.
Yeah, I mean, Shane showed his class in Fulda. The fact that there's more pool to play now because 3 and 4 balls are not going in off the break. The pros can't control the cue ball, so it's a bit more of a lottery. And can he see the potting angle? If he can't, he's got to avoid the double kiss on the safety. Got to avoid the double kiss. Needs the 1 ball to keep going. Needs this to find the back rail. If it doesn't, he will leave the pot. He has left the pot. Joey's going to find it hard to control the cue ball here, so he's going to need a little love. Does look like the cue ball may crash into the red 3 ball. Make sure you pot the ball here though, Joey. The worst thing you can do is miss the pot because you're worried about the cue ball. Just contacted the 3, wanted a fuller hit. Cue ball's found the top rail again. Is there a combo? 2 onto the 3? It's a nasty one. Didn't play it. Don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Looks like Shane's going airborne. He's going for the short stick.
Now he's got the short end of the stick. The cue ball on the carpet. And what an opportunity for Tate to regain the lead.
That's often a sign of not quite settled, too much adrenaline, because he's jumped the cue ball a little too far on the slate. That's why it's ended up on the floor. Another good chance for us to scrutinise Joey Tate's game here. How will he go about this table layout? They're all there. Wasn't his best opening shot. I say that because you don't want to play a positional shot where your next shot you're using the bridge. Looks to have a decent action with a bridge. Phil, often we've seen a lot of these pool players struggle with this implement. If the 4 goes in the left centre, why didn't you put the cue ball in a different position on his opening shot? Could have basically stopped his first shot and then just found a better positional play for this pink 4. Now he's back in prime location.
One thing I really like, and I've seen so many young players on TV for the first time or up against a big name opponent for the first time, they tend to be a little too quick for their own good. Not in their normal rhythm, but it's clear to me that Joey Tate isn't rushing. And he doesn't seem affected by opponent or occasion.
Yeah, he's got a smooth cue action. I mean, the fact that he's 17 is questionable. I think we need to check his ID before he plays in this junior event. Times the ball nicely. it's still early stages, Phil, but are we seeing a future Mosconi Cup player right before our eyes?
My answer would be, why not? He certainly seems to have the credentials and indeed the natural poise out there in front of the cameras. Joey Tate leads Shane Van Boening 2-1. Now, we haven't given you the scores for quite some time, so let's keep you right up to date with what's occurring. Now, we saw Eklund Kachi come through 9-1 in our first match of the day. He looks like he's going to play Vitali Patsura in the next round because Patsura is 7-3 up on Prathamesh Savant over on table 6. Robert Hart, brother of the American film star and comedian Kevin Hart from nearby Philadelphia. He's trailing Chris Alexander 8-2. Joni Sikkonen 7-6 up on Mickey Kraus. And Darren Appleton has come through his first match against Wong Yo Nagat. 9-2. So Appleton through 9-2, and that break off will do. Another result for you. Roberto Gomez, as expected, came through without alarm, defeating Rich Waters 9-1.
Joey Tate has made the one ball in the side in both of his breaks. This time he's not scratched. And look at what he's faced with. Gotta get good on this purple 5 off this next shot. Big crowd have made their way over to this feature table. A lot of tables in this arena, and as a fan you can walk round through the different channels. You can get perfect viewing on every single table. It's got a very relaxed feel about it. The fact that you can just walk around and just pull up to a table with your latte and just watch the pool, or you can sit down there, as you see. You just see in the distance people stood up. You've got high tables and chairs. And the more racks Joey Tate wins, the bigger that crowd will get over there. They love a shock in the world of pool.
Another member of pool's youth movement, Riku Rompainen from Finland, just 14 years of age. He's through. His first opponent, Blaine Barkas, forfeited.
He's looking good, Phil. He's looking good. He looks like he's settling into this match. He's really going to take this game to Shane.
It is still early days, yes, but the biggest story of this year's US Open so far is starting to brew. Joey Tate leads Shane Van Boening 3-1. How about that? His sisters and his father watching on. His sisters are smiling. I think his dad looks a little shell-shocked. He can't believe what's happening out there. What a result it would be if Tate could get the victory. It really would light up this immense room.
Discussions are happening.
By the way, we do know our next matches on these tables. Third up on table 1 will be Nikos Economopoulos against Johan Chua. That's in winners round 1. Over on table 2, again, another very appealing winner round 1 match. It is John Morra from Canada against Roberto Gomez from the Philippines.
Pay attention to the yellow 1 ball, left centre. And there she goes again. Could be an argument for saying it's a hair soft. Players are supposed to be implementing a harder break. How you do that is up for debate.
Carl Boys, the Grinch.
This goes in the left centre. It's all about the cue ball. Avoid cannoning the 3 and avoid the scratch in the corner. Oh, he's forgot about the pot. Often you do that. When the cue ball doesn't have a natural path to follow and you have to create the angle, you can sometimes forget about the pot. Shane's got to find a good positional shot here though. Forget about it, young man. This will happen over your career.
Where's the white going? Flicking his hand, trying to have some kind of influence on it, but it doesn't work that way.
It does go past the 9 and the 7.
There's a definite tension out there, which we haven't seen in that many matches so far. Certainly not on the show tables.
Well, this needs to keep going, folks. This needs to keep going. He's landed short. He's landed really short. This is thin. He's down quick though, he's Shane. Yeah, he's had to play a safety. He's had to play a safety. Well, Tate can fire a long bank in here. He can fire the long bank in. It's either the bank shot or split the balls and try and get cover with the 9. He's looking at the bank, that's why he's walked over there. Big shot coming up, big moment. Can he punish this mistake and fire in a long bank on the 8? Joey Tate with the long bank 8.
Come on now, keep your nerve, keep your rhythm. Not in doubt. It should have been Shane Van Boening's rack after Tate missed the 2 ball to the middle pocket, but a poor positional shot onto the 8, and then the bank from the junior. Tate leads 4-1. Listen to this, folks, I'll repeat. Tate leads 4-1. And you're right about that crowd, it will begin to swell and swell as news goes around the arena that Shane Van Boening, I think it would be an exaggeration to say he's on the ropes, but right now he's certainly got cause for concern.
Yeah, the fact that Shane didn't clear the table there and made the mistake positionally, and Tate fired that bank in, really sends a message. And I've been around Q Sports a long time, Phil. I know you do a lot of work in snooker, and a lot of people often say that the pockets are too big, but that is a prime example why the pockets are a little bit more generous on a pool table. The positional play mistake from Shane come. He played a poor safety, and the bigger pocket just meant that Tate could go for that exhibition bank shot, and the pocket swallowed it up, and that's what the game of 9-ball is about. Watch the 1-ball again, he's been breaking good. Bit of a miss hit there, but he's still potted a couple of balls, and it's another chance. So the mistake from Shane could be really punished. Maybe it just won't cost him one rack, it may cost him more.
Remember, Shane Van Boening is the reigning world champion. He has won this US Open on a record equaling 5 occasions. Just to put this into perspective, Joey Tate is a 17-year-old junior who is going to take part in the Shane Van Boening Junior Open here later this week.
Needs the cue ball to slow down, doesn't want to go near the 8-ball, and you always want a bit of an angle. Now he does have a little bit of an angle, but you don't want to get too silly with this. The 6-ball will go up the rail. Just remember that, Joey. The 6-ball does go up that long rail, so you don't need to get juicy with the angle on the purple 5. Looks like he's going to top this one in. Be careful you don't follow the cue ball in the pocket. Yeah, it was going decisively close, but that's okay. He can play some form of stop shot now. It's okay, I think in this instance. He would have liked to have been a little straighter. That would have guaranteed the pot. 8 balls over the side, put all your efforts in the pot, forget about the cue ball. The cue ball's going to be good. And it's there. It is there, Phil. It's going to be another rack.
And the 9-ball here, almost identical to the one he knocked in rack 5. Basically, a gimme. This story just gets more and more intriguing. Shane Van Boening, who's enjoyed so much success around the world and in this US Open in particular, finds himself 5-1 down to a teenager from North Carolina, Joey Tate. Will he ever have experienced nerves like this now?
No, I don't believe he will have, but you know, if you're going to make a name for yourself in the world of pool, if you're going to be a future champion, well, there's no bigger time to do that. What a position he's in here.
From the small town of Elm City in North Carolina, as I said before, that's just to the east of the city of Raleigh. But there's no sign of a Shane Van Boening rally at the moment.
This is what Shane's got to be thankful of, though. The fact that the break isn't the old school easy break. You still feel like maybe he's going to get 1 or 2 more chances, because there's a lot more skill to this break now. When the old back arm starts to tighten up and the pressure starts to to come. It could go wrong. Shane needs a good shot here. It's a long one. Needs to draw the cue ball back out. Not hitting the cue ball how he wants yet. He's feeling it. He's the champ. And why wouldn't you be? He's got his back up against the wall now. Needs a bit of help. He hasn't found it. So he's not going to win the rack in this visit. It's going to be a safety shot. You could see the cue ball just glance the 8. Over on table 50, Mickey Kraus, he's playing Arni Sikkanen from Finland. That match is 8-8. Phil drama over there. He's left the pot, but how does Joey get from the red 3 to the pink 4? Answers on a postcard.
Yeah, 2 other well-known figures in World Pool just starting out. Corey Jewell 1-0 up on Jonathan Pinniger. And Chang Zhonglin from Chinese Taipei 1-0 up on Rick Miller. Now where do these finish?
In no man's land. Shane's got a bank to the left centre. That's his only hope. He's going to go close to it. Your big favourite to make the bank. Joey was trying a tough shot there, to be honest. Yeah, good shot from Shane. Needs a cue ball to bounce out, which it has done. Don't know if he can roll the cue ball forward and roll into the 8 off the 1 rail. If he can, that's maybe what he will choose to do. Oh, he's hooked himself. He's hooked himself. Phil, this is not good signs, this, from Shane. It really isn't. Now he's going to chance his arm at a bit of luck. He's down quick. He's relying on luck here, folks. Oh my word. That's what happens when you're the 5-time champ.
You know, I've been around the snooker world more than half my life. The lower ranked players, the middle ranked players in snooker are convinced that the top guys get more than their share of luck. The likes of Davis in the 80s, Stephen Hendry in the 90s, all of the other players were convinced they were lucky. You know the Gary Player quote, the more I practice, the luckier I get. Well, whether that applies or not there, I don't know. What we do know, that could be a massive turning point, because up to then, he was struggling mightily, not just on the scoreboard, but the way his game was producing, or not producing, as the case may be.
Yeah, I think against a certain calibre of player, they may come with that excuse, thinking the top boys are luckier. Joey Tate looks like he's going to be one for the future, one of the top players. So we'll see how he handles that. We'll see where this match takes its direction.
And there's no surprise there. Over Shane Van Boening's shoulder, you can see Mike Panozzo, the editor of Billiards Digest. He knows a good story when he sees one. I thought he might be around there.
He's struggling on the break. That's better. He's found the 1 ball. Now, where's the 2 going? Where's the cue ball going to finish? Well, he's got a shot, Phil. Like you said, is this the turning point?
And you see, he's even had a little bit of luck here. Look how the cue ball just deflects slightly off the template. It was going to go very close to that 9, and then it just moved slightly back to the left.
Yeah, he's got awkward cueing. It's just off straight, so he can't get juicy with the cue ball. He can maybe just roll forward. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's just going to roll forward and try and find a nice angle on the red 3. Which is tricky.
You're right, Carl, it was awkward queuing, but I think it would have been even more awkward without the assistance of the template. It was only a centimetre, but we all know this is a game of fractions, the old cliche.
What a game the game of pool is. You're 5-1 down. You play a poor positional shot. You hook yourself on the 5 ball. You give it a good old whack. You fluke it. And now you might be about to do a break and run to get it back to 5-3 down.
And, you know, come Saturday night, if Shane Van Boening is lifting this trophy, naturally, we might well recall that fluke. It's not the amount of flukes you get, Carl, in your career, it's the timing of them.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, this is still early stages in the match and in the tournament, you know. Double elimination, 256 star, all trying to make it through to the final 64, which will be single elimination. So the loser of this match, he's still in the event. You just go over to the left side. We've seen plenty of players win big tournaments from the loser's side of the draw or the left side. Big rack coming up after this one. This match is now 5-3. Huge, huge rack is the next one.
Shane Van Boening can breathe just a little easier, but there's still an awful lot of work to do. Let's just take another look at the break-off shot here, Carl, and I think we might have that little nudge from the template illustrated more. Watch the cue ball closely. It was going right on top of the 9. Then, oh, there it goes. Just drops back.
Yeah, that template is all about making sure every player gets a tight rack, because when you use the wooden triangle, certain gaps in the rack can manipulate the balls to do strange things. So the template is here. Everyone's got a perfect rack. Shane to break. Doesn't make that 1 ball, but look at this. Look how this match has just changed.
I might even say those 2 words for the first time in this tournament, Carl. Roadmap. For him, I think he would say yes.
Yeah, he's just got to get the cue ball down on this 2. There's a bit of work to do here, just because of the pink, the 9 ball and the green 6. Is he going to come down towards the 9? That kind of angle? Yeah, he is. How's he hit it? How's he hit it? I think he's okay. He played a percentage game there. You might think that was a bit fortunate, but the pace he played it and the path he brought the cue ball down, he gave himself a big margin for error.
I tell you what, any thinner contact though on the 9 and he would have been unable to pop that. Fine margins. But then again, he's a fine player.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, you still got to run these racks out. It's okay saying he's had a bit of fortune, but he's under pressure here. So he's got to keep running this table out, doesn't he? You know, this is what he's going to do. You forget about all this. You just think, oh, well, he's fluked a ball, but he's still got to go on and keep running these balls out to stay in this match. You know, after this rack, he's still losing. It's still 5-4 to Joey. That's what Joey's got to sit there and remember. If you'd have said to Joey Tate 1 hour ago, you're going to be leading SVB 5-4, he'd have snapped your hand off.
Didn't strike that with any great authority. It went in off the near jaw. And because he hit it a little too thick, the cue ball didn't make the journey he wanted. Yes, the 9-ball should be potted, but not quite the position he wanted. In it goes, nevertheless. Shane Van Boening back in this match with a vengeance. At his lowest ebb, he was 5-1 down. Now, though, he trails only 5-4, breaking in rack 10. So what about these scores around the arena? Mika Immonen, the terrific Finnish player and former winner of this tournament. He's 2-0 up on Thomas Haas. Thomas Kaplan from Poland, 4-1 up on Kenny Donald. The US Moscone Cup contender Tyler Steyer has made a slow start against Dino Nair from South Africa, who leads 2-0. Margaret Fefilova and Stephen Folan, 1-1. And this isn't the highest profile match, but I'm going to say this scoreline because I want to say one of the guys' names. Omar Al Shaheen, who was runner-up in the World Championship last year, is playing a player from the Bahamas, Dakarai Turnquest. Great name, isn't it? And they're 1-1.
Good news for Tate fans. The break and run onslaught is about to end. No pot for Shane on the 1-ball. Safety looks, well, looks horrible, doesn't it? Where do you go there?
While he's thinking, I can tell you, Carl mentioned the hill battle between Mickey Kraus and Jarni Siikkonen. Well, the Dane has come through. Kraus winning 9-8.
Good talent, Mickey Kraus. Very talented player. Can he go deep this year? Shane's playing the safety shot. Oh, he's got to trust the table here. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful effort. They're horrible shots. I'm wondering if he can just see the edge. If he can see the edge of this one, he might be able to try and draw the cue ball back in behind the 2, but use the 7-ball. So he flicks this ball thin, cue ball into that 7, draws the cue ball back, maybe even pots the 7 in this corner. Anyway, it's a tricky spot he's in. Kicking off the top rail. Cue ball is close to that rail. Took a chance. Needs this 9-ball to block that pocket. I know you're thinking maybe a possible 1-9, but you'd rather the 9 block that pocket than it not be there, because that would mean Shane could pop the 1. So if Shane does go for the 1-9, it's so difficult, so that may be okay for Joey. Looks like it goes in the other pocket past the purple 5, but that's also thin.
Let's put it this way, I think before he played the escape, he would have settled for that, just about.
There's a lot going on here with this shot, there's a lot of options. Shane may look at chasing the 9 with an element of safety in mind. Could even bank the 1 ball up past the blue 2. But that means you're throwing all your eggs in one basket. Could get the cue ball in behind the 5. There's 5 or 6 options here for Shane.
The agony of choice. Sometimes you can have too many things going through the mind. It can reduce clarity.
Chased the 9 and tried to duck the 1 ball in a safe position. It's gone wrong. Now Joey can thin snip this in, and this is what makes you a champion, makes you one of the best pool players in the world, because regardless of what's gone on in the match, this is your chance to win the rack and open another 2 rack lead. This is where he's all at now. Big moment for Joey Tate, the youngster from North Carolina. Needs his cue ball to bounce. Yep, that's okay. The pink 4 goes in either corner pocket, so wherever he lands on this 3 shouldn't really matter. Over on the right hand side of the table would be more ideal. Oh, this is nice. This is perfect. Just a nice little angle where you can just roll the cue ball through.
How does he respond to the adversity of losing the previous 3 racks? Largely as a result of being on the receiving end of a really bad run. Looks cool, calm and collected to me.
Similar cue action to last year's runner-up, Aloysius Yap, also a left-hander. Been a good run this in this rack. He's had to sit in his chair and endure a little bit of pain, and that was nearly some more pain because he dropped his chalk, and if that chalk would have hit the 9 ball, it would have been a foul.
As it is, no foul. Joe Tate, 6. Shane Van Boening, 4. Joey Tate 3 racks away from a seismic upset and a victory that will resound around this Harrah's Resort and Casino. You know, you can tell immediately. We could tell in the first rack. We didn't want to really go overboard on it, but you can tell immediately when a player is born to be out there. And he looked completely unfazed by the attention he was receiving, by the gargantuan achievements of his opponent, by the fact he was in front of the TV cameras, pictures going all around the world. And he still looks unfazed now.
Yeah, good break. He made the one in that side. That is what he's attempted. Does the 2-ball past the 8? Difficult to see from here. If it does, this is a great chance. Maybe the overhead, if it stays on long enough, will give us a little clue. Ooh, doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Yeah, there you see. It's going to be tight. And whenever it's this tight, you want the cue ball in exact straight line. Even the spectators having a nosy, Phil.
Well, right now, being around that table is the best seat in the house. And we were right, the crowd is gathering. So many of them standing around there, trying to crane their necks to see the action.
Needs to be sensible here though, because if this is very, very tight, he needs to just maybe rein it in a little bit. Play a good cue ball. If you miss it, you get cover. Oh, it goes. Good shot there. Look at that. That looks severely tight. And it was. You could see he played it off the right-hand side. So what a shot that was.
Well, at best, you would say a quarter of a pocket.
This is very similar. Because it's straight, you would like to play a purple 5 in the same pocket, but take your medicine, play it in that side pocket. Yeah, that's the way. You may have to play it into the top corner now. It looks like it's landed in between. Either or, he will know better than anyone. He stood right behind the shot. Biggest shot of the match so far. It's a little tricky one. Rolling the cue ball forward. Has he made it? Has he made it? He hasn't. You just knew. I just knew when the cue ball landed there. It was a little funny one.
And the mask dropped. He's been serene. No signs of emotion at all. But as soon as the ball hit the near jaw there and refused to drop, he couldn't hide his exasperation.
Yeah, it was the positional shot, the one before. Maybe he should have played for the top left corner. Anyway, SVB has got to play the bank. And of course, he makes the bank. Good shot.
Right now, feels as though he's been given an oxygen mask. Revitalisation.
SVB is about to pull it to one behind again in this match. Is that going to be the biggest moment of this match?
We've seen two turning points, haven't we? One was the result of good fortune when SVB had that fluke out of a snooker. That was more hurtful for Joey Tate because he was responsible for his own downfall there. He missed the ball. Yes, it was, as Carl said, quite a demanding shot to the middle pocket, but he caught the near jaw, remained on the table, and Shane Van Boening did the rest. We don't know what's going to happen. What we do know is it's been a cracking contest so far, and there's nothing to suggest it won't be a cracking finish. By the way, the winner of this match will take on Margaret Fefilova or Stephen Follen in the winners round 1, and right now Fefilova's leading 3-1.
Yeah, looking around the arena while Shane breaks these balls. Cue ball. Oh, where's the cue ball going to finish? Oh, it's sat on the 2, so there's going to be work to be done here. Yeah, just looking around the arena, we have 8 practice tables. 4 on either side of the arena. They're sectioned off, and they're always in use. And I'm just looking, I can see Jason Shaw, who's won his opening 2 matches. He's actually setting the balls up for a young kid. The kid is probably 7 years of age, 6 or 7. And the kid's smashing the balls around the table and they're just having a bit of fun, and that's what the pool world is like. You know, we're at a major tournament and there's a young kid from out the crowd smashing the balls around with Jason Shaw. This is very delicate, this shot, all about pace. He's overdone it. Never going to be easy, that, when you've got to get that cue ball stopping behind the ball. Now, we've talked about moments, Phil, haven't we? This is right up there. This really is.
Marcel Eckhard from Germany, the referee, removing the template. And now that has gone. Yeah, big moment here. Big moment.
How good is your cueing, young man? Stay still, pocket the ball, see where the cue ball finishes. It's going up towards the 3. Job 1, pot the ball. He's missed it. Are we seeing a slight falter now? Are we seeing it?
The nerves infiltrated his technique there. The left shoulder was definitely in that shot. And that's something we haven't seen before.
Where's the cue ball going to finish? No man's land. So, Shane can't quite get the cue ball where he wants. Can he bank it in the side? That's tricky. Can he pot the 7 with a cue ball? Well, whatever he's faced with, he's going to have to come up with some magic.
Taking your time on shots that require thought. Entirely understandable, entirely sensible. We're at the point of the match now where if you make a mistake, you might not get another shot.
This is the benefit of no shot clock situations like this, because when you do have a shot clock, I mean, obviously you don't want players wasting time. We know that's why the shot clock's there. We get it, you know. People watching don't want to be falling asleep in the chairs. But from a player's perspective, this is where no shot clock comes into its own, because this is without doubt the biggest shot, the biggest rack of this match now. Shane doesn't want to be rushed into playing a silly shot. Not that he would. He's looking at that 7. If he's going to pop the 7, I wonder if he's going to try and draw into it or go into the rail first and then flick the 7 in. Jason Shaw is still spotting the balls up for this young kid over in the practice section. I'm going to wonder if we can get a bit of footage of that. That would be kind of cool.
It wasn't really worth the wait, was it? Again, another ball missed. The reliable, dependable game of Joey Tate for the first half of this match is starting to unravel.
Yeah, it was always a tough pot, but it's the way he lunged into the pot, wasn't it? That's not what was very convincing. Got to stay positive, though. You played a phenomenal match here against one of the greats, if not the greatest.
Yeah, it's not the time for a debate now, is it? But you can't write saying one of the greats, certainly.
Well, the smaller pocket has forced the miss. He's fired it into the rail. The pocket did not swallow it up. Joey Tate. This is the biggest 7 balls of your career. Got to get back over to the left side of the table. Done well. This is good. This is okay. What angle's he faced with? Oh no, what has he done there? What has he done there? What a huge mistake that is, Phil.
You see this in Q Sports so often. Players get into a situation where they can claim an enormous scalp, and then the realisation of what they stand to achieve hits them like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to show a lot of resilience now to go on and win this match, because that was a huge chance to just put Shane back under the gun. Didn't see that one coming. I just didn't see him missing that. I thought from what we'd watched so far, he was more than capable to win this rack, as it all got too much for the young man.
In the second rack, Shane Van Boening worked out a 2-7-9 combination to draw level at 1-1. And now we are back all square again at 6-6. This started out as a race to 9. Now effectively from here, it's a race to 3. And the momentum lies with the 5-time US Open champion. So what about some other scores? Omar Al Shaheen, 4-1 upon Dakari Turnquest. Lu Ri Teng, another fine player from Chinese Taipei, 6-1 upon John Robson. 6-1 also for Radislav Babica over Pedro Botta. Neil Svein having things all his own way against Edward Epperson on table 17. Fine leading 6-0. Another stalwart of European Mosconi Cup teams, Mika Immonen, 3-2 upon Thomas Haas. An American Mosconi Cup player, Chris Reinhold, going well against Barry Hetherington from Canada. Reinhold leads 6-1.
It's a golden break. It is a golden break. That missed 4 ball from Joey Tate is going to haunt him for a long time. the 5-time champ, with a golden to take the lead.
Yeah, to take the lead for the first time. And of course, during his World Championship campaign back in April, there was one occasion where he had consecutive golden breaks, Shane Van Boening. If that happened here, the teenager's heart would be broken.
This game, Phil, can punish you. You know, let's forget about talking about luck. It's a load of nonsense. At the end of the day, that young man there, he won't be concerned about the golden break. He's a top-class operator. He knows he's missed a few too many key balls when it's mattered, and that's why he trails 7 racks to 6. Just needs another chance though, doesn't he? He needs his 5 ball to come in the way, which it has, so Shane's not guaranteed to win this rack. Not guaranteed at all.
While the decision-making process is going on, gives me the opportunity to give you a couple more scores. Chang Junglin from Chinese Taipei, well respected in international pool, leading Rick Miller 6-1, and Nicholas de Leon, possibly outsider for Mosconi Cup selection. He's 5-0 up on Jamie White from GB. You could fall victim, Carl, to a feeling, well, okay, I've done the work now, I've hauled my way back, I'm in front, everything will be okay. But there's no way, given his experience and what he's been through in his career, that Shane Van Boening will take anything for granted here.
No, 100%. Just because he's now in the lead, this is still a tight match. This match is not over. Without some kind of genius shot right now, you feel like Joey's going to get back to the table. Is he taking the combo on? 2-5 combo? I think he is. No, he's not. He didn't take it on. It's gone wrong. This is the chance Joey needed. This is the chance to tie the match up. This is also the chance to forget about the mistakes. This has been a class match, it has to be said. We've had it all, Phil.
Of course, we've seen higher quality, but in terms of drama, storyline, general narrative, you couldn't wish for anything better.
Does the pink 4 go in the same pocket as this red 3? If it does, it looks like it's the only pocket available, which means he's got to try and spin the cue ball around 3 rails. Pace is key. That's what he's played. He would like this to bounce off the rail a touch. Ooh, this could be nasty. I say that because he's got quite a big angle, which means he's going to have to roll the ball through. I don't know if he can roll the cue ball off the back rail and back out. So this is a touchy one. This is a feely one. He could use the back rail, so that was okay. That's what I meant about the natural path earlier on. Because he had that natural path, it meant he could put a nice stroke on the cue ball.
And for what it's worth, when this goes in, this 5 ball, Tate will have potted more balls than his illustrious opponent. But can he pot the balls that really matter? shouldn't be an issue from here, but the pressure out there is intense.
Well, when it's all said and done, the fact of the matter is, if this 9-ball vanishes, it's going to be a best of 3.
And that's exactly what it is. 7-7. And although the youngster has got no numerical advantage, he does have a real advantage because winner breaks. He gets the 15th rack underway in just a moment or so. Here's that youngster you were talking about. Jason Shaw fielding for him. 7 years of age.
And he's got his 9-ball patch on as well. Well, he looks a good cueist for his age as well, doesn't he? They're getting younger and younger. Joey Tate to break. Well, he's broke very nice indeed, hasn't he, in this match, Phil? He really has. He's pocketed the one in the side pocket very consistently, and this will cut in the corner. I'm not saying it's the shot he's going to play, but he can chop this ball in.
Yeah, you're right about the break-off. I think he's been more efficient in that department than Shane Van Boening.
Can also play a very tidy safety shot, sorry. Needs this cue ball to bounce. Needs it to bounce. I don't think he's quite got the hook. I'm not saying Shane's left with something easy, because he isn't. Maybe it's a little swerve. Talking of youngsters, Victor Selinski is on the hill. He's playing Tyrell Blowers. 8-2. How far can Victor Zelinski go this week, the young Polish player?
I think everyone in pool knows he's got the ability to go all the way. The only problem is, so do many others.
Well, he's going airborne, isn't he? But I don't really know what shot he's exactly playing at. It's hard for me to see this, because it looks like the cue ball's going to go up towards the top end of the table as well. Yeah, there she goes. So he's just playing a look shot, really. I'm not saying he couldn't do anything else. It was a nasty position he was faced with. We already seen earlier on, luck was on his side when he fluked that ball. Why not take your chance?
Now can Joey Tate his chance? White has run enough.
Yeah, needs to regroup, needs to refocus. Trust in your cue action. Them couple of misses earlier on can make you think that, can make you settle down a bit more. I've said it 4 or 5 times, but I believe now this is the biggest rack of the match, Phil. Oh, he's playing the wrong ball. He's playing the wrong ball. He's playing the wrong ball. He's played the 5. Oh my word.
Have you ever seen anything like it in your life? Sometimes in snooker we have players who take a red on after the next red or a couple of colours, but it's always been when it does crop up in low profile matches away from the cameras. That was simply extraordinary. That will go viral.
That will definitely go viral, and in America the purple 5 ball in a lot of the pool rooms is actually the 4 ball, and I think that is what's happened. I think Joey Tate has just got confused in the moment. Obviously these Aramith balls, they're not new now, you know, we've been playing with these a while, but he's completely got lost in the moment. Incredible scenes. And if you sat there wondering why Shane didn't tell him, well, this is the US Open. He isn't going to tell him.
He must be absolutely gutted, Joey Tate, and maybe a little embarrassed, because that was, and bear in mind he's 17, a rookie error. Extraordinary. If that was the first rack, it would be a turning point. To take it to 8-7, well, that's something you do not see in a decade, maybe in a lifetime. We've just seen it here though. Shane Van Boening leads 8-7. Carl, you've been all around the world playing pool. Have you seen anything like that?
I've not seen it in this context of the match, the fact that we've got the legend playing the youth and the way the match has gone and all this, but I have seen players go for the wrong ball. Of course they have. We've all done it. Even Shane's probably done it. But what a moment to do that at 7-7. And the fact, what makes it worse, Phil, is he was on the 4 perfect as well.
That will be spread around on social media and all kinds of online channels throughout the day. People will be sending that to each other saying, look at this, look at what the lad did. Oh, it's a little bit like hitting a home run in baseball, being the hero and not touching the base. That kind of mental error. I'm sure his father, Randy, just can't quite believe it.
Yeah, his father's been very poker faced, but now you can see that hurts.
You made me laugh there, Carl. He said, why didn't Shane Van Boening tell him? There was absolutely no chance at all.
No, I didn't say that, Phil. Let's just get the facts right. What I said is, if you're watching and you're wondering why Shane didn't tell him, he's not going to tell him. It's the US Open.
And he's quite right not to tell him, of course.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm sure Shane knew he will have been the first person in the building to have realised Joey Tate was going for the wrong ball.
The other score seems somewhat irrelevant at the moment, but I will tell you, Niels Fine leads Edward Epperson 8-0, quickly on the hill, the Dutchman. Chris Reinhold on the hill against Barry Hetherington at 8-2. Thomas Kaplan also on the hill at 8-4 against Kenny Donald. And the winner of this match, Van Boening or Tate, will take on Margaret Fefalova or Stephen Folan. And right now it looks like Fefalova, because she's leading 6-1.
Oh, he scratched. Joey Tate. You can still win this match. You can get it to hill. Forget all the drama what's gone on, and there's been plenty of drama in this one. This is your chance to tie this match up and tie it up at the most crucial point of all.
You will go a long way to see a more incident-packed match than this. And have we seen yet another twist?
Oh, what's he done here? What has he done here? First shot. He's having a meltdown out there. He could have played a 2-9 combo. I'm not saying you do. But get the cue ball back out here. He had all the side of the table to go. It's understandable. That last rack he made a huge mental error, shooting the wrong ball, and now he's kicking at this 3.
And this is why pool is so captivating. It really is the perfect setting, the great champion against the 17-year-old, the possibility of an upset, all kinds of things going on. It's been a joy to watch.
He's left it over the pocket. Shane's got a chance for the match now. Let's not forget, Shane was 5-1 down. He's had to sit there and go through the motions. What an enthralling encounter this has been.
Well, the best match of the tournament so far by a country mile.
Incredible scenes here on day 2. So of course Shane's day 1 really, because this is the first match of his campaign. And what a match it's been. You often think winning 9-0 and in less than an hour is a good thing, but there's nothing like winning a match like this to get the juices flowing for your tournament. Pool players all over the world, you know, you practice at home, you practice in your club. I'd be keen to find out if Joey Tate has got a set of these balls where he plays pool. Does he play with the older set? Because if you're not playing with this set and you're not quite used to him, you're going to do what he's done. I'd be interested to find out.
Yeah, but that was rack 15. He's taken them in the right order before. I know what you're saying, Carl, but that was a massive mental error. And one he will never forget. One he'll never be allowed to forget. All due care and attention being given to this.
Yeah, using all his experience there, making sure he played the correct shot, and he is lovely on this 8 ball. He's played a lot of matches as Shane, and this is right up there with one of the best.
All kinds of emotions go through a player's mind when they're involved in a match of that nature. But the only emotion for Shane Van Boening now, with that wry smile on the face, is pure and simple relief. He's defeated Joey Tate, who contributed so much to a classic, by 9 racks to 7. It's a match you didn't want to see come to an end. We'll all remember the incorrect ball being taken. These are the hard facts. Shane Van Boening's pot success rate was superior in the end. Tate didn't miss much early, but he did towards the conclusion of the match. 7 pots in total to Van Boening's 4. But really, that was a match about emotion, not statistics or numbers. And final word, Carl, you must have enjoyed that immensely.
Yeah, I did indeed, Phil. I thought it was a quality match, you know, sitting on the fence. Not really.